Welcome back to another episode of She Gets Sit Done. We're going to be talking about another interesting topic, another Reddit post, which Sana is going to mention.
Cool. Here we go. Hold on, let me share my screen. Alrighty. Training a dog through a gap in the fence. Neighbor's dog starts barking as soon as I enter my backyard. She pokes her head beneath the fence and growls. This can continue for hours. The neighbor is unable to look after the dog, possibly due to their own health reasons, I'm not sure. I recently started giving the dog treats and petting its nose, thinking it would come to like me. Unfortunately, now the dog seems to bark more than ever. Maybe it's learned that barking equals treats. I waited for hours today, thinking that if it stopped for 15 minutes, I would give it a treat, but it never stopped. What's my gameplay from here? Short,
Well,
but an interesting topic. Hold on, my bad.
I think that the dog is just being territorial, to be honest.
Well, I think if you go into the whole thing, the neighbor isn't looking after the dog to begin with, right? So the dog is probably completely understimulated and stuff like that. As a neighbor, I would I would probably not be petting this dog on the head to begin with. That's like asking to get bit.
Yeah. Especially with the fence and everything, bringing in food and stuff. I think they're definitely understimulated, and then when dogs are understimulated, they practice unwanted behaviors because it feels good, like barking and stuff.
Mm,
It's good. They're bored, so what are they going to do with their day?
exactly. I would potentially also, instead of feeding it treats from your hand, just toss the treats over the fence.
Hmm.
Just spend a week or 2 weeks. Every time you go into your backyard, you just toss treats over the fence
Yeah,
instead of confronting the dog and kind of rewarding it for sticking its head under the fence.
yeah.
Right? We want to stop that behavior. So, yeah, that's what my take would be on that one. We want to be as least confrontational as possible.
And possibly if you are trying to give the dog treats under the fence, it's probably got a level of conflict as well. Like it's like I want the food,
I can't reach it.
I can't reach it, but I've got to take it from you. So,
Mm,
and then obviously that could be creating negative feel, even though it's well intentioned, it could be creating negative feelings that the dog has towards you. So now it's like, well, you put a lot of pressure on me. You're right behind the fence. This is my property. You're right there. I'm just going to bark about it. Whereas, like you said, if you just threw treats,
mm,
there's no there's no confrontation there, and it could change the way the dog feels about it. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for this person because and for the dog because obviously whoever this dog's owner is, like they're obviously wanting to give the dog free rein outside all
mm.
day every day, but this dog does not cope with that kind of space. Like some dogs are just very territorial as well. Some dogs should not just have free access outside without being supervised
Very
because
true.
that's like my dog. So I can have the door open a lot and she won't do anything. But if I'm not supervising her and then someone like across the road or far down the street is there, she's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And will practice that behavior if she can. Whereas I put in a lot of training now that I can give her more freedom outside. But like if I leave for like a few hours at a time, like she doesn't need to go out to the toilet all the time either. So I
Yeah.
have her locked
But
inside the
this is
area.
something the neighbor can't control. The
No.
dog is in the backyard,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
So I understand your train of thought, but
Yes.
he can't do anything about it. It's in
Yeah.
the backyard all day long.
I guess your other option is that you could call a council and complain about it. Don't know, but it
Depending
does.
on where they live. I would maybe, if the barking gets real bad, um, see if you can find like an ultrasonic bark device.
Mm.
It works really well on some dogs and it works not at all on other dogs.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you why it works on some dogs and not on others, but that's something you could put on your fence line. And when the dog barks, it emits a sound and hopefully that makes it stop barking.
The other thing is, can you board up? that little gap in the fence. So the
I was
dog
gonna say
not
that as
get
well.
its head under there. Because if the dog doesn't have access to see you as well, that might help as well. So whether you get some bricks, something it's too heavy for the dog that it can't move it,
Mm,
that might make a difference as well. And then maybe even just don't give the dog treats or anything, block it up, and there are no interactions.
mm. Yeah, you have to figure those. I would definitely block up that fence. And I would probably first start with tossing just treats over the fence. And then it's almost a scatter feed, right? Because you just have a handful of kibble and you go toss it over the fence as you come out. And now the dog is learning, like, oh, every time you come out, for me, the seeking event begins. And
Actually, I quite like that.
and seeking calms the brain down. And now we might have a slightly nicer pattern to follow. But if the barking does get worse because you're like the only stimulation this dog gets, and now the dog is like, oh, do that again, then yeah, you'll have to go the other way. And that's the corrective way with maybe like a device.
And I would be going off the treat throwing is only hanging around kind of when the dog is eating, and then once they're kind of nearly finished, go inside.
Yeah,
So that they start to make that positive. Okay, when you come outside, food comes out as soon as like the food's gone, you're gone. You
yeah,
know, and
yeah.
that
And I suppose if you're out for a longer amount of time, you would maybe interval the treats a little bit.
yeah. So you could do four, like throw four over, and then
Yeah,
like.
and then like 20 minutes later, you do another lot, stuff
Hmm.
like that.
It's a hard one because I also feel sorry for the dog because it's obviously bored and
Yeah,
what
and
has
it's
well intentions.
and it's clear that from the post, the comments that the dog's owner has like issues that doesn't make it possible to open the door to getting the actual owner help or all that kind of stuff. He said it's like opening Pandora's box.
Yeah,
So that is obviously not gonna help.
no,
Yeah, that's tricky.
it's a hard one, but that's probably really the only recommendations. And if all else like that does not work, you've seeked out all of those ones, then the next discussion is some kind of if you've got a council run thing where they enforce dog
Like a
laws is that you
complaint.
have to start doing that so that the owners get warnings that they can't allow their dog to keep
Mm,
doing this and that they need to do something else and to organize something else, whether it's maybe they're not physically capable to do lots of things. I know dog walking you have to be careful, but maybe if they got like a single person that could take the dog for a street walk during the day if the owner's out, just
mm,
the dog gets out of the house and like sniffs, like you don't have to do group walks or anything, but just a single person to walk the dog.
absolutely,
No. But probably you need to the owner needs to take some responsibility as well. And it might have to be that that's the hard topic conversation.
for sure. Good one. Very different question. So that's why I wanted to cover it. I thought it was a good one to do something very different.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, that was a really short one for today. Short but sweet. Um, Next week we'll be talking about barking, I believe. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, make sure you tune in next week. Let us know in the comments what you think might be a good solution for this dog, and we will see you next time. Bye.